Hello everyone, it is August 31st, the last day of my month-long challenge where every day in August I went to a new place in efforts to combat my agoraphobia. Today we're going to Washington Tower in Mount Auburn Cemetery. It is located in Watertown. Before we go, we have to rate the excursion from yesterday. Yesterday, Owen and I went to the Acton Arboretum, and for the beauty and the relaxing nature of the excursion, I'm rating this in the 3rd spot overall. My sweatshirt is from Cuffy's on Cape Cod. My hat is a Life is Good hat. Gray shorts are from Old Navy. Socks are from Target. Shoes are from Tree Torn. And some little gold hoops. Okay, for the last time this month, let's go. So we just got back from the Washington Tower a little bit ago and it was beautiful and amazing. I really wanted to end this challenge there because I knew that the view from the top was going to bring some perspective to my life regarding this challenge and anxiety and all the things that I have been talking about and dealing with for the last month and for my entire life. And it was really nice. Owen was with me. The weather was really warm and perfect. The view was stunning. I will say it was slightly stressful getting there because driving in the city is not fun. But besides that, as I mentioned, it was a perfect excursion. I have been thinking about this day since August 1st. And I feel like I can see a change. For a long time, I was really scared that I would get to today and not feel that much different than when I started. Looking back, especially on the first few episodes, I am riddled with fear. I know you can't really see it. I can sort of see it in myself. I was definitely at a low point. I started planning for this challenge in late July because a couple of instances had recently happened where, as I mentioned, I just felt anxiety was controlling me. It has always controlled me. And when I watched those first few videos, I definitely see it. I definitely see how anxiety is controlling me. Now, I feel like on day 31, I have been to so many places, you know? I have proof that anxiety doesn't control me. I also just feel extremely proud that I kept up with my video and editing hobby for a month straight every day. I mean, granted, there were a few days that I didn't capture much, but I don't think I've ever done anything for a month consistently, ever in my life. You know what else is really interesting is I feel like August was about me. I think it was the first time in my life where I put myself first every single day. And as you saw, sometimes that was really hard. Sometimes that was really uncomfortable. Sometimes things didn't go the way I wanted it to. On the other hand, some things worked out amazingly. I uncovered new places that I wouldn't have traveled to. I became closer with friends when I explained some of these anxieties. I used art to help find hope in all of this when a month ago I felt like there was no hope. This has never really come across in the last month, and maybe that's just because my physical health has been doing well, but thankfully I have not had a super bad anxiety or panic attack in the last month. And that I think is so amazing, especially with all of the work and pushing myself out of my comfort zone that I did in the last month. And there was not a serious problem that kept me down or kept me in bed for days. I think that is such a win. I said this early on, but I think it's quite easy for me to talk down to myself about this challenge and some of the problems I'm facing in this category of anxiety because it doesn't seem like me, you know? And it's not me. It is something I'm going through right now, but it is not my identity. It's not my personality. Of course, on the last day, my neighbor upstairs is banging through my video. As I was saying, it is so easy to feel like it's my anxiety, my agoraphobia, my chronic illness. And while it does sometimes prevent me from doing the things I want to do, it doesn't need to prevent me from living the way that I want to live my life. Or at least it shouldn't, because that would be silly, you know? This challenge has brought to my attention that agoraphobia, anxiety, is probably going to be something that I deal with for a big majority of my day-to-day life. But when I get down about how hard life can be sometimes, I have this entire video series to demonstrate to me that I am strong. I can fight through things. I can be there for myself. I can show up for myself. I can try my best to take care of myself. I have really big hopes and dreams for myself and for who I want to be. Living with anxiety and agoraphobia, I know, is not the best version of who I want to be. But now, at the end of August, I can recognize that even though it's not where I'd want to be as a person, I know I can still live with it and live with it so bravely and so happily. I don't know if any of this sounds really good, but I'm just trying to say again that there's so many times in our lives, I think, when we just feel like this is it. Things are always going to be this way. Nothing's ever going to change, and I'm always going to be like this. And I refuse to accept that any longer. Being diagnosed with chronic illnesses made me sometimes feel like I'm my sickest. Years later, I feel like I'm at my healthiest. Now that I know what my body needs, how to fuel myself correctly. And now in my more recent journeys with anxiety, before, I was at my most unhealthiest. Now I'm feeling like I know how to treat myself better, how to help myself through anxious situations, how to keep growing and keep pursuing the things I want, not the things that anxiety wants. And there will probably be a long road ahead of me of feeling scared of going out in public and being sick, or feeling out of control in a public space where there's lots of people around. But I have to recognize that those places do exist, and I will find myself in those situations, and I have to adapt and learn to be okay with certain parts. I also feel a lot better about being honest and setting boundaries when I feel some situations might be too much for me, I think the best thing that this challenge has taught me is I'm not alone. And I said this before, but so often regarding this topic, a lot of thoughts come back to me that I am alone. If I don't want to be with people, then the alternative option is that you're left alone a lot. And I'm not alone. I have so much support from my friends, from my family, from everybody who has encouraged me. And I just hope that you all know that even though I was originally doing this video series for my own, measurements, that having you here supporting me and pushing me and loving me back has really changed my life. Changed my life for at least the last month, but probably changed my life forever. So thank you. Thanks for watching. If you've watched, I know it was a lot of videos and a lot of me talking. In another video, I said this, and I just want to say it again because it's so beautiful to me in its simplicity. Everything in the world is not as big of a deal as it is in my mind. And that everything is going to be okay. And even when it doesn't feel like things are going to be okay, and when that feeling happens for a really long time, eventually everything is going to be okay in one way or another. I'm ready to go home, but I'm also okay to go out, which is better than it was last month. Drink in the views, all of our hard work paid off because now we're here. Now we're here. For the last time, that's all from me. Thanks for following along. Love ya. Bye.